Beneath our feet lies a world we rarely think about, an entire realm that has remained hidden from human eyes for most of our existence. The surface of the Earth is where we live, work, and explore, but below this thin layer of rock and soil is a vast, dynamic, and ever-changing environment. This is a place where unimaginable heat, pressure, and mystery lie in wait. As we look up to the stars, we often forget to look down. But deep beneath the Earth's surface lies a story written in stone, fire, and metal. What secrets does the Earth's interior hold? And what awaits those who dare venture into the deepest reaches of our planet? Join us on an extraordinary journey where science meets adventure and discover what truly lies at the center of the Earth. To understand what lies at the center of the Earth, we first need to strip away the surface to see beyond the land we walk upon. Imagine, if you will, that you are standing on the Earth's crust, a thin, rocky shell, no thicker than the skin of an apple compared to the entire planet. The crust, though seemingly solid, is not a single unbroken sheet. It is broken into huge, tectonic plates that float atop a much deeper, more fluid layer, what we call the mantle. It's almost like the Earth is a living organism, its skin constantly shifting and adjusting as immense forces from below push and pull. But even that doesn't prepare us for what's to come. Beneath the crust lies the mantle, which stretches down to a depth of about 2,900 kilometers. This layer is composed of rock that behaves strangely. Though it is mostly solid, it flows slowly, much like thick molasses. The heat from below causes the mantle to move in slow, massive currents that drive the shifting of tectonic plates and the formation of mountains. But we cannot stay on the surface forever. Let's step into a new world. The first steps of our descent will take us into the relatively familiar, the Earth's crust. Beneath our feet, we might imagine we are walking on solid ground, but that is merely a thin veil covering the tumultuous forces beneath. The crust may seem stable, but it's a region of constant change. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions are proof of the restless activity below. These events occur when the forces within the Earth's deeper layers push against the crust. It's as if the Earth is alive, constantly shifting, renewing itself. Imagine the tension as the crust breaks apart and pieces of land drift away, only to be reshaped into something new. But even this seemingly solid terrain cannot prepare us for the dramatic shifts that will come as we descend deeper into the mantle. Each layer presents new challenges and new mysteries. Each step into the unknown brings us closer to the heart of our planet, where heat and pressure are forces so intense they warp the very materials that make up the Earth itself. As we begin our descent into the mantle, we leave behind the solid ground of the crust. What awaits us is a strange and alien world, a place where rock isn't as we know it. In the upper mantle, the rock is still mostly solid, but as we journey deeper, it becomes more fluid, shifting and flowing under immense pressure and heat. Imagine walking through a world of half-melted rock, where the material beneath your feet moves at a pace slower than a human could ever perceive. The mantle is like a vast, slow-moving river of molten rock, its currents driven by forces far beyond our comprehension. It's here that tectonic plates are born, colliding and drifting apart, causing the landscapes we see above ground: mountains, valleys, and oceans. The mantle is not just the heart of the Earth's movement. It is the engine that drives the planet's constant change. At the boundary between the upper and lower mantle, the heat intensifies. Temperatures rise by about 25 degrees Celsius for every kilometer we descend, and the pressure builds to unimaginable levels. If you could stand here, surrounded by rock moving like thick syrup, you would be crushed almost instantly by the pressure, the temperature rising to levels that would incinerate anything, any living thing or machine that tried to make its way through. At a depth of 2,900 kilometers, we enter the outer core. This is where everything changes. For the first time on our journey, we encounter a true liquid. The molten iron and nickel here churn in a state of constant motion, creating currents so powerful that they generate the Earth's magnetic field. The outer core is the heart of the Earth's dynamo, a mechanism that generates the magnetic field that protects our planet from the harsh solar winds. As the molten metal moves in convection currents, it creates electrical currents. It's a process that, to this day, remains a fundamental part of life on Earth, protecting us from the radiation of the sun and allowing life to flourish. But this molten sea is not a place for exploration. The temperatures here can exceed 5,000 degrees Celsius, and the pressure is crushing. Anything sent down would melt almost immediately. We can only study the outer core indirectly, through the way seismic waves from earthquakes travel through it, giving us a glimpse into this fiery abyss. Now, we approach the final and most mysterious layer, the inner core. Despite the unbearable heat and pressure, this region remains solid, a dense ball of iron and nickel. At temperatures reaching over 5,500 degrees Celsius, this solid mass is under such extreme pressure that the metals are compressed into a solid state, despite the temperatures being hotter than the surface of the sun. This is the very heart of our planet, the solid mass around which everything else revolves. It is like the beating heart of the Earth, its solid form providing stability to the planet's magnetic field and, perhaps, even to the movements of the outer layers. Yet, this heart remains a mystery to us. We can only theorize about its behavior, and the way its iron-rich core moves at a slightly different speed than the rest of the Earth adds another layer of intrigue. In the inner core, the laws of physics are stretched to their limits. The metal here is squeezed and compressed, its atoms packed so tightly that it behaves in ways we cannot fully understand. And yet, it's the key to the planet's stability. The inner core is where the Earth's energy is stored, waiting to be released by the powerful forces of nature that shape our world above. But as we stand at the edge of this unimaginable depth, we realize that our journey to the center of the Earth, while extraordinary, is also incomplete. The inner core remains hidden from us, a place so far beyond our reach that it can only be studied through the seismic echoes of earthquakes and theoretical models. What truly awaits at the center of the Earth? Is it a source of untapped energy and materials? Or is it simply an incomprehensible realm where the Earth's deep, untamable forces are kept in check? The mystery of the core may never be fully solved. Perhaps the greatest discovery of all is that there is always more to learn, more to explore beneath the surface of our planet. For as much as we understand about the Earth, it's clear that we have only just begun to scratch the surface. As we resurface from our journey, we are reminded of the incredible forces at work beneath our feet. The Earth's core may remain a hidden world, but it's one that defines the very nature of our existence. It shapes the magnetic field, drives the geology of our planet, and even influences life on Earth in ways we are only beginning to understand. And so, while we may never reach the center, the journey itself has illuminated the complex beauty and power of the planet we call home. The center of the Earth may remain an enigma, but perhaps, in the end, that is what makes our planet so extraordinary. Beneath the surface, an entire world awaits. And the more we discover, the more we realize how much there is still to learn.